Welcome back to Yang Daily. I'll be your host, Alex Cheney, bringing you all the Yang news you need to live your life right. Oh boy, do we have big UBI news today, plus some light entertainment courtesy of Facebook and a volunteering opportunity in Minneapolis. FYI, we are big Halloween fans here and we do lots of decoration and celebrating. It's pretty much my girlfriend's religion, so I will probably be taking tomorrow off from the podcast. Let's get truckin'. Quick shout out to our Tier 3 patrons, Shay Meehan and Nathan Stankowski, as well as all our other patrons. You keep us all informed and engaged. If any of you out there want to join these advocates of humanity first and independent journalism, head on over to patreon.com/YangDaily. It would only take a couple of bucks a month from each listener to keep this podcast and community going and growing into the future. Now on to the news. Facebook has decided to change their name to Meta in order to better capture the wide range of sketchy that they do and to officially rebrand as a citizen of the virtual reality metaverse in an attempt to escape anti-monopoly regulators in the physical reality. Plus, the shady shit. That was all Facebook. You can't blame Meta for that. I think their slogan could be Meta, ruining more than you think. Or Meta, that wasn't us. Anyway, they thought about changing their business practices, of course, but ultimately decided that this was the easier course of action. One Mr. Newberger on Twitter noted the similarity to the classic horror movie Poltergeist, where a real estate agent moved the tombstones from a graveyard but left the bodies. You can run but you can't hide, Facebook. We know what you did last summer. The internet has been quite rudely poking quite a lot of fun at Meta's rebrand. The BBC helpfully pointed out that Meta means dead in Hebrew. I don't see the problem, they've got time to grow into that status. Mainly the criticism was creatively altering the new Infinity logo to be infinitely more suggestive, as well as helpfully offering alternative naming options. Even Zuckerberg seemed to be objecting to the new name, or so I interpreted from his live stream. He said brisket and ribs so many times that I can only conclude that was the name he wanted to go with, but got outvoted. Yang asked for some alternatives, so I cooked up a few of my own. Would you like to focus group them for me? Alright, here's my favorites. Dicks Are Us. Stay with me. It's great, because it conveys that they're sorry for their past mistakes, see? Okay, no, you're right, they can't show weakness. How about if we just embrace the truth? Conspiracy Are We? Ah? Yeah, I was really feeling a Toys R Us vibe, and they're not around anymore, so they can't stop me. But no, you're right. Honesty is never the right policy. How about a customer-facing one? Revenue Are You? Right? Really encapsulates the business model and acknowledges the user's role. Makes them feel seen, No, you're right. It doesn't distract enough. Maybe Toys R Us is the wrong vibe. How about TMI? Short, sweet, and no one can say they weren't warned. Picks for clicks? No? Oh, I got it. All Your Face Are Belong to Us. That one's for the gamers. How many you need, Andrew? I'm here all night. Elon Musk, not to be outdone, proposed a new university called the Texas Institute of Technology and Science. Sounds very prestigious. That is until you examine the acronym, which I'll leave you to explore on your own. That said, the world's richest CEO has never had a problem mixing adolescent comedy with serious business, as demonstrated by the naming scheme of Tesla's cars being 100% focused on achieving the acronym SEXY, with Ford's obstruction on the letter E only serving to convert it to leet speak. Elon has also expressed deep interest in education reform before, and his businesses are attracting the best talent out of universities in the world, so it's quite possible he intends to actually go through with this. Hey, if Trump can do it, anyone can, and it worked out great for him, right? In media news, Yang wrote a new article on his time in Iowa and visited the SiriusXM Progress radio show to talk forward. And without further ado, on to the UBI news. Chicago's City Council voted overwhelmingly to approve what Mayor Lightfoot calls the most progressive budget in City Hall history. Can you guess what's included in that budget? The one-year basic income pilot of $500 no-strings checks to 5,000 low-income families. It is means-tested at $35,000 annual income, which applies to an alarming 18% of the city's population currently living in poverty, but that is the only requirement, making it less conditional than most pilots, and this will be the largest basic income pilot in the nation. Oh wait, belay that, we appear to have a challenger. California has no intention of being out-progressed and selects Los Angeles as its champion for this duel. The city council there also just approved a basic income pilot, which is also a 1 year trial of no strings attached income for impoverished families, but this time for 3,000 families receiving $1,000 a month. So 60% as many families, but 100% bigger checks. This does have more conditions requiring proof of financial hardship from COVID, and we know the catastrophic damage that same condition wreaked on federal rent assistance. Not ideal. Nevertheless, that's a lot of money going out that families can spend however they wish, and they need it, as an even more shocking 20% of Los Angeles families live in poverty. So yeah, two biggest pilots in the nation, days apart from each other. How's that for trial progress? Moving on to an action alert. Fair Vote is organizing volunteers to educate voters on ranked choice voting outside the polls for Minneapolis's upcoming election. Visit the link below to join up and make America a little bit wiser. And finally, one of Yang's campaign photographers, Mark, has put together a photo book of shots he took on the campaign trail. Only a few of the featured photos on the website are of Yang, but Mark says there are tons of photos and stories from Yang's run in it. Either way, there are some incredible pieces in there. Best of all, Mark is far less likely to scam you than the last guy who promised Yang Gang a coffee table book. Still, maybe use PayPal, yeah? And that'll do it for today's Yang Daily. Bookmark and share the Chicago and Los Angeles basic income trials and the RCV poll volunteering. Flood Congress with calls, tweets, faxes, and letters using the easy volunteer contacts below. If you need help, consult the Income Movement Aid Database, the Mission Asset Fund, or United Way. And don't forget to Yang Daily.